So to start off, I got a pan. 1, 2. You're not in focus. Was that a gang sign?
Yes.
Peace has always been a gang sign.
I got Pete. Okay. Exciting installment. All right. Well, thank you all for coming out once again just to hear me speak and talk and drone on and on. So today, persuasive speech. Yeah, my name is Kelly Goonan. This is for my speech class for KSU for online speaking. So as I begin. So now we've all probably heard at some point in our lives that 1% statistic. And no, I'm not talking about that 1%er biker thing. I'm actually referring to the 1% of service members within the United States. Now that's 1% out of over 300 million people within the United States. 300 million people. It's a staggering number, and honestly it's extremely difficult to even comprehend. But out of that many people, there's only 1% that are able and willing to serve our country. So why am I standing up here discussing with you the percentage of the American population currently serving in the military? Well, it's because it's important that not only our youth, just exiting high school and possibly looking into going to college, know about the benefits of joining the military, but it's also important for the rest of the population that have already found themselves in college and perhaps they're looking for something different or more stimulating. So let me begin by highlighting the different branches and the different ways to serve. There are 5 branches out of the United States military, and of those it includes the Army, the Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. I love the Coast Guard. Each one of these branches has its own unique set of mission skills, and all of them together make up the world's greatest military force. Let's start with the United States Marine Corps. They're known as the Rapid Force Reaction Team, or Rapid Reaction Force, and they are trained to fight by sea, land, and are known worldwide as some of the fiercest warriors. And on the other hand, we have the Air Force, which is considered our nation's source of air power, with a primary mission of flying planes, helicopters, and satellites. Now moving on to the Navy, their primary mission accomplishes it by the sea. And what they do is secure and protect the oceans worldwide, making the seas safe for travel and for commerce. Finally, our Coast Guard, their mission is primarily the domestic waterways, and they do rescues, law enforcement, drug prevention, and they also clear and make sure that those domestic waterways are safe. Now within all these branches, these 5 separate branches, there are more ways than one to serve and protect our country, as opposed to straight active duty, which is kind of considered the most time-intensive service commitment that you can get into, and is very much similar to having a full-time job out in the civilian workforce. There are 7 part-time duty roles that can be chosen, 5 reserve and 2 guard. Each of the military branches has a reserve component or option. For example, when I was about 2.5 years into college, I got extremely bored with what I was doing, and I really needed some sort of income to help pay for my higher education. Because I had no scholarships or grants. Yes, I was a lazy high school student. I didn't care about it. But I realized when the bills were coming in for my tuition and fees, I needed to do something else. So when I made the decision to enlist, I wasn't sure if the military would honestly be the decision for me. I was kind of voted class rebel in my high school in 2006. It kind of gives you an idea of where I was sitting at the time. So I knew that I wanted to test the waters, so to speak, before committing to something as demanding as the active duty would be. So I chose the reserve to start out my military career. Reservists like me are required to perform the same boot camp as everybody else in their respective branches, and we're also required to participate in two drills one weekend a month, Saturday and Sunday, and then 2 weeks of active training throughout the year, 14 to 15 days of active straight training. Now finally, the last option for your military service that is also considered part-time is what I spoke to earlier, called the National Guard. The only military branches that have this component of service is actually the Army and the Air Force. The other 3 do not. Serving the National Guard capacity means that you'll still perform the drill weekend once a month, as well as those 2 weeks of active training a year. But the difference is that the Guard's main focus is on homeland security and humanitarian relief. National Guard troops assist communities in their state during emergencies such as major storms, floods, fires, or other national emergencies. These Guard branches are unique in that they are primarily controlled by the state level. Now, all of my information, my source, came directly from defense.gov and military.com, where you can look it up and back channel everything that I've just spoken to you about. So moving forward. Now, it's no secret that medical expenses can become ridiculously exorbitant extremely rapidly. And I'm pretty sure almost everybody in here has experienced something like that. Emergency room bills, doctor visits, no insurance. It gets out of control. So when you sign that line to become a member of the world's greatest military, you're also given medical benefits that pay for any injuries occurred while you're in the service. And it also covers some of your dental care and health. Now, one fantastic benefit to this is that your spouse is also covered while you're actively serving. Any injuries sustained while active will be covered and taken care of, as well as any of those dental needs. Be it filling cavities, replacing teeth, pulling teeth, it's all included. The only stipulation is that you must be active in order to receive these benefits. So if you've chosen one of those part-time options or positions, you'll be covered while you're performing your required training, as well as should you deploy, you'd also be covered. Now, aside from having all of these medical benefits, military members are also offered many different educational benefits that can pay up to 100% of your college tuition. There are even some programs within the National Guard that will actually pay back all of your student loans on your behalf. I didn't know that, but now I do. So, for example, like I said, I enlisted in the Air Force Reserve, and I was actually able to get myself activated for about a 3.5-year period. And what happened was it allowed me to accrue that time in active service to unlock that original 40% that you start out with to the full 100% for that post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, what it means is that now I'm back in college at KSU. That GI Bill pays my university directly. All of the tuition, all of the fees, everything associated with going back to school on that end. They pay it directly to the college. You don't even have to see that bill or flip it over. On top of that, I get paid to go to college. Comes out to about $1,200 a month. Not only will I have zero student loan debt when I graduate, I also don't need to worry about finding a part-time job to help pay the bills at home that the GI Bill might not cover. It gets even better. There's a grant out there which is called the Pell Grant. And you don't have to pay the Pell Grant back. And the majority of military members are actually eligible to receive the Pell Grant. All it takes is just applying. Just one click away and you're good to go. What the Pell Grant offers you is about $2,000 a semester. Free cash, paid directly to you to use as you wish. On top of the Pell Grant, on top of the money that you're getting paid to go to school, you also get a book stipend directly from the GI Bill. Again, that goes straight to your pocket. You can use that as your discretion. So many of you might know, if you've attended college, the books are extremely ridiculously outpriced or overpriced. So anyway, the $500 goes directly to that. And so far, I have used under $500 each semester for my books. So the rest of it, I just pocket. Finally, if that wasn't enough to get you excited, in my position as a reservist while still going to school, I'm getting paid the $1,200 in BAH. I'm making that book stipend, which is $500 a semester. I'm getting the Pell Grant, which comes out to about $100 each month. But also, as a participating active reservist, on my weekends, I get an extra cash. Get an extra cash flow. Just come in, do my duties, something that I love and do anyway, which comes out to an extra $300. I make around $2,000 a month just going to school. Just getting myself that better higher education so that whenever I am done with college, and maybe if I don't want to continue to pursue the reserve lifestyle, I'll have a bachelor's degree, and I'll have gotten paid for it. Now, if you don't want to use your post 9/11 GI Bills, or if maybe that's something that hasn't been unlocked to you 100%, and you're not quite certain that's the route that you want to go right now, they also have a program in the military called tuition assistance. Now, for me, I would use tuition assistance, say I was working full-time in a civilian capacity, and I wanted to just take a few courses on the side to better myself or maybe make myself more marketable. Tuition assistance will pay your cost of tuition. They're not going to pay you, but you won't have to worry about your tuition fees. And like I said, that would be most valuable for somebody who's working full-time and they only want to take a few courses on the side. Now, finally, I must point out that you have a lot of personal benefits that you'll accrue during your military service. And when you become a member of the military, you not only learn the importance of timeliness, respect, accountability, you'll also learn a trade. All of the jobs that you can find in the military are abundant and dynamic. These job skills you'll learn are easily translated and transferred into the civilian workforce. For example, you become a pilot. You can use this free training from the military and use your piloting skills to become a pilot for your civilian airliners like Delta or American Airlines, what have you. The same goes for the variety of mechanical positions. Finance, numbers, public affairs, being able to speak with somebody or push out press releases, photojournalism or journalists, which is what I do, human resources, which I believe that's kind of what you fell into, and force support. And the list goes on and on. Many employers seek professionals who have had at least 2 years experience. And the military gives you exactly that. And they pay for it. Your resume would be packed with on-the-job training, supervisory experiences, and it teaches the valuable tool of working in such a diverse environment that employers seek and respect. Even if you don't spend 20 years or more in service, your training and experience puts you ahead of most other job seekers. Many employers are happy to hire you, in part to thank you for your service, but also they understand how uniquely qualified you are for their employment. So in conclusion, when you sign that line and take that oath, you are entering a world of honor and prestige. 2 articles, one written by the Wall Street Journal and the other by Time magazine, highlighted that more than 2/3 of America's youth would fail to qualify for military service. Many of them lack high school diplomas, some have felonies on their records, some struggle with obesity and or alcohol addiction, drug addiction, and many people also have tons of tattoos. Tattoos have just become so much more common in these past 10 years than they were 30 years ago. Not just that, but there's other body modifications that a lot of our young people have gotten themselves into, like those huge earrings and gauges that they put in their ears. Well, that would immediately disqualify somebody for service. Ultimately, your decision to join the military will open up to you a whole new world of exciting opportunities, guaranteed employment, health benefits, job skills, self-improvement, as well as a glowing resume that employers will eat up. Now, even if you aren't convinced with what the military has to offer, you cannot deny the honor, the respect, and the overabundance of opportunities that a career within any of our United States military branches has to offer. And that is all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Thank God. So now I got to pan the room. I just need to pan the room one more time, and that is it.
Wait 2 seconds.
I know you didn't have any questions for me because it was just so thorough.